I'm like ready for this COVID It's like this morning is no one was time to go to work this morning, and I was the only one in the back when I said I was pissed.
So y'all didn't test about Portland, right?
I was so mad, man. Tomorrow, I said, hopefully Craig's gonna be there tomorrow. I might be late.
So I'm like, it's about 9 tomorrow.
Yeah. See how y'all feel. See how being like, I was so mad. And then it was just, we had to have someone up front. We opened the doors at 8 o'clock.
Right.
We had to have someone up in the front. Nobody. I was the only one in that section. Yes. You were in the lobby waiting for them.
We're going to go with like 5:30ish, you think, Coach? Something about like that? Yes. You can follow it on Prep Nation TV. Most people just either do the link through our Twitter or they just go to YouTube and follow the channel. It's super easy. You can cast it to a TV, iPad, iPhone, Android, Xbox, PlayStation. Yeah, the feed's already up. All right, originally our Prep Nation TV game of the day featuring the number 1 ranked Canute Trojans and the number 12 rated Fletcher Wildcats was scheduled to start at 5 o'clock. We've had a delay due to the school bus being a little bit late getting here, so both teams are pretty much just doing basic field drills. Coach King is doing some flyouts and some throw-bys. Pretty much right now stretching and just team throws for the Trojans. We should be good to go at approximately 5:30 to 5:40. We'll be ready for a perfunctory meeting at the mound between head coach J.W. John Gillette and Jared King. It'll be Wildcats Trojans, your Prep Nation TV game of the day. Would like to again congratulate Latta Panther head coach Ed Collins for a Lifetime Achievement Award. This weekend, his Latta Panthers defeated the Turner Falcons in back-to-back doubleheader games to tie and then set the all-time winningest record for a high school baseball coach in the United States. Coach Collins began his career in 1978 with the Jones Longhorns. He went to the Rattan Rams for 1979 through the summer of 1981, and then took the present position with the Latta Panthers in the fall of 1981, where he was coach now for almost 40 years. Coach Bowen was chasing the legendary Merle Bowen of Asher. At the time of his retirement, not only did he have 45 state championships, he had 1,000 more victories than any other coach in the United States. Coach Ed Collins catches him and passes him, so congratulations to Coach Ed Collins. 2,116 victories in high school baseball. We started not to start the stream until the game got underway, and then I was a little bit concerned for sponsors and people that are wanting to watch from afar. So we decided to go ahead and cut it as soon as Canute pulled in the parking lot and then get it going. So it shouldn't be much longer now. We should be good to go probably here, guesstimating in about 10 minutes, probably 20 tops. Canute's been in the bus for probably, God only knows how long, probably 2 hours. And so they're definitely wanting to stretch, get limber, do a little bit of throwing back and forth. Haven't seen much bat work so far. So it looks like the teams will skip the traditional bat lineups with the coaches at home plate hitting drills and such. And they'll just basically get limber, stretch, throw, and then get ready basically for this Cremation TV game of the day. Both teams have been ranked in the top 10 and pretty much through the top 15 all season. I feel pretty confident in saying that to many people, Canute is the surprise team of this fall. However, they were a state quarterfinalist last year. Exceptionally young, talented, well-balanced, well-pitched, well-hitting club. They have got a third baseman that is lights out, the premier pitcher pretty much in the state of Oklahoma, in my opinion, in Kellen Henderson, and then timely hitting that makes them an exceptionally tough out for any team. They started the season 2-2, losing games to Fort Cobb Broxton and to Loki Bicycles. They have since avenged the Fort Cobb Broxton win twice, and now they are sitting at number 1, Week 6 rankings, the third consecutive week that we have had the Trojans rated number 1. Fletcher's had a little bit of an up and down season. They entered today's game, I should say, for Canute 19-2, by the way, on a 17-game win streak. Fletcher has had kind of an up and down season in the middle portion, jumping out top 10 ranking, getting as high as number 6, and then they are now standing at 14-7, just outside the top 10, with teams like Wright City, and pretty much you could make the argument some people have Tuscan about in that same spot as well. We bumped them to top 10 based upon their performance in the tournament. Recent victory over Calera, defeating Tupelo, playing Oklahoma so competitively, a game that they had led pretty much half the game or more. And so should be an interesting next 2 weeks before we head into district tournaments or district assignments. The way the tournaments, some teams will elect to put in their district play that got rained out or postponed. Others will stick to the schedule, and even saying that, even teams that clinch district, some will even play the following week before regional tournaments start, Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, first weekend in October, and they will pick up some non-district games. Teams like Red Oak, Dale, they are traditional, pretty predictable in that regard, that they like to stay fresh the week of, having the benefit of wrapping up the regular season prior to districts and then staying sharp so that they're not off for an entire week, perhaps the entire time of the season, first time it would happen. So nonetheless, it'll be a fun tournament, a fun section of this type of coverage in Oklahoma is that fall is pretty much your non-football schools. So it is for Class A and B, approximately 101 schools participating. Both classes loaded. As I said earlier, districts have to be in the books by the 28th, and then regional tournaments will start technically September 30th, October 1st, 2nd, 3rd combo somewhere in there. And then state championships this year will be October 8th, 9th, and 10th, weather permitting. We are getting close. Teams are making their way over here on the side for the Wildcats. Canute is still out on the field, so we should be good to go for approximately a 5:30 start. Head Coach King will walk over to the umps, get them the starter pack for today's game balls. Like to thank today's sponsor for our game coverage, Affordable Cremation Services in Elk City. They are a huge supporter of Canute sports. For those curious, tomorrow our Prep Nation TV game of the day will feature a battle of the Pirates between Bing and Dale. Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, we will flex coverage throughout the state, perhaps pick up our first football game of the season. Otherwise, we will do game coverage at the 31st Annual Hammond Baseball Tournament. Canute, Visai, Granite, Hydro Eakley, Cheyenne Radon, Calumet. I don't know if I already said Visai or not, but it's somewhat of a unique format. Some teams have a first round bye, others play the first day, others wait for their games to be pretty much set. But we had a team scratch, so that's why I hedged my bet on trying to say off the top of my head teams that are participating this year. Starting the tournament Thursday at noon will be Granite versus Hydro Eakley. The winner of that game will play at 2 o'clock against Visai. Next game up will be Hammond and Blair. The winner of that game will play Navajo at 6 o'clock. Those will be your Hammond High School games. At Canute High School, a split host for Thursday games only, Canute and Fargo will have the evening game at 6 o'clock, preceded by Cheyenne Radon and Calumet at 4 o'clock. So 2 games will be at Canute High School on Thursday, and a total of 4 games Thursday at Hammond High School. Starting Friday, all consolation games and semifinal games will be at Hammond, as well as the consolation 5th, 3rd, and 1st place game on Saturday. So we're just waiting on Coach Gillette to come up. He is there now, and so Fletcher, as the home team, will be out first. They will have last at bat. Prep Nation TV game of the day: Canute Trojans versus the Fletcher Wildcats.
I'll go ask. I think Williams is up here.
And we're good to go. Lineups are exchanged, so we should be good for a toss-out. And we're going to actually get started a little bit before 5:30, so it should be about 5:27, 5:28. Anybody that wants to share the game link for today's stream, all you have to do is download the YouTube app. To do that, create an account. If you don't already have one, you log in with your email or phone number and your password. Go to search Prep Nation TV, subscribe to Prep Nation TV, and then click the top button that has 3 little dots on the right. Push it with your finger, click share, and then you can copy the clip and you can share it on social media, by text, email, or with your phone. And we're officially underway. First pitch is a flyout to center field, 1 down. Ball in on the outside part of the plate. And a strike, so 1-1 count. Fletcher is a team that has had a lot of success recently. Probably the last 4 or 5 seasons, they have been a staple at the state playoffs, making it as far as the semifinals. Generally speaking, they are good for a district and regional championship. They have been state quarterfinalists virtually, as far as I can remember back, the last 4 seasons that we've done our coverage. So they've been an exceptionally consistent team, along with Stonewall, Rattan, Latta, Dale, Silo. We'll have a fly ball. It pops up and ends up going foul. So it looks like the shortstop is who came down with that for a second out of the inning, 2 down. Unique park and field for Fletcher, not all dirt. Only the bases, the pitching mound, and home plate are dirt along with the dugouts. Rest of the field is grass. At ball high. And a strike. And a foul ball, so back-to-back strikes. Not sure if we have a full count or a 2-2 count, but I know it's one of the two. Just down the first base right field line. And another foul ball, this time toward the visitors' dugout. It gets the shot to drive to left field. So it is a 3-up, 3-down top first. Your home Fletcher Wildcats will be up to bat, bottom of the first inning coming up. Basically, we have our own encoder, but we set it to YouTube. It seems to be the most stable. So all you have to do is just go and search Prep Nation TV. All right, so recap of the top first. Fly out to center field, pop foul that went over to the shortstop, who got it pretty much in deep, I guess probably left field, just in behind the third baseman. And then we have another fly out. So it's a 3-up, 3-down inning. Fletcher has done their job. So we will see how they will progress here in the bottom portion of the inning. They'll be up to bat. Canute has had a lot of success thus far getting the lead in games and jumping on a team right off the get-go, so this is an exceptionally good start to the game for Fletcher. No runners on, 3-up, 3-down. You got 10 to 12 seconds before it becomes real. All right, some stats for high school baseball heading into Week 6. State's largest active win streak belongs to the Canute Trojans here at 17 games. The Rough Tigers next with 13, Whitesboro at 11, Union City 9, Asher 6, Crowder and Moss 5 apiece, Boswell and Red Oak 4, and then Fletcher with 3. 7 teams have now won 2 games in a row. All right, so teams trading a cautious approach at the plate, both looking and taking pitches, not necessarily just swinging at anything for the sake of swinging. So a leadoff runner for the Wildcats. They have 1 on, no outs here in the bottom of the first, 0-0 game. We are very thankful to be able to resume getting back on the field. I will cover games from press boxes. I will do it behind fences. I will do it behind netting. But we much rather prefer being on the field to get a close-up front kind of at the game feel and look for the games that we cover. Those of you that followed us back when we launched as OK Prep Scores and Stats know that we used to do just a lot of updates with photo galleries and video highlights throughout the game to show as the games progressed. We switched over to more video highlight reels and streaming with graphics and team vectors. Hopefully we will be launching our new channel this year. It has been delayed due to a couple of things. One, technology, dead zones throughout the state, COVID. But nonetheless, we will get there and hopefully have our dream come true, which is to televise games all throughout the state and create Oklahoma and the United States' first full-time high school sports channel.
Come on, Vic!
That bunt put in place. We'll have a fielder's choice. So 1-3 on the throwout. Runner advances to second, 1 down. So Fletcher is able to get the runner over to second. Nice little bunt drop there. Pretty much only one play for the pitcher, and that was to go to first. So perfectly executed. Takes more than a little bit of talent for a left-handed batter to bunt and make it go right. Virtually every bunt that a left-hander throws goes either to the pitcher or down right field or third base line. So very nice. In for a strike. And he gets him. Can't take that many straight pitches over the plate. Worst case, you waste that out on a pop-up, a deep fly that allows the runner to tag up and get to third. It's just hard to strike out without really swinging. Outside. And back-to-back balls, 2-0 count.
Hey, Fun's one right here, no chance. Come on, babe. Come there, 1-9. Hey, let's go now. Clear. Come on now.
And he fouls it off.
Not bad hack, not bad hack. Stay on him. Go now, my head. Go, done it.
And in for a strike. Evens up the count, 2-2.
Hey, battle up, unlay, Kimball. Come on, 19. Go now. Come on, let's get busy right here. Come on now.
And the foul ball keeps the count alive. Nice day here in Fletcher, a little bit overcast, otherwise pretty cool, just about 80 degrees or so, give or take. Nice little breeze.
Keep playing them deck, don't give it up. Come on now. Come on now.
And over his head, giving him a little dirt nap there, full count.
Come on, ball for base the ball. 1-9.
And he gets him struck out. So after a leadoff walk and a sac bunt advances the runner to second, it is nothing doing as there are back-to-back strikeouts. Through one, your score, Fletcher 0, Canute 0, your Prep Nation TV game of the day. Coach King is not happy with what he called back-to-back K burgers.
It's not tripping though when you flip it, it's staying on.
We will be releasing our game of the day for tomorrow a little bit later tonight, along with an updated schedule as soon as we figure out if we're doing some of the games, part of the games, or just select games Thursday, Friday, and Saturday for Hammond's tournament. Otherwise, you can mark your calendars for tomorrow. We'll be at Dale for Bing versus Dale Battle of the Pirates. Both teams pretty much perennial powerhouses in fall and spring baseball. Should be a really good game. In for a strike. And gets him in the dirt for another strike. Ball is high and inside. Back-to-back batters for Canute are part of the pitching rotation. I believe if I'm correct, gentlemen, up at the plate is the number 3. The batter about in box is the number 2. Oh, he gets him looking. Both teams have had some already early bad at-bats. Sometimes slow starts are expected after busy weeks, breaks, and just a couple hours on the road. Kids get just a little bit flat or lethargic, and so it may take the teams a couple of innings to get warmed up here. Thus far, it's been a pitcher's duel, no hits. One walk by Canute, and that is pretty much the only on-base runner we've had so far. About the farthest the ball's gotten is almost out to center field, and I would call that in tight. That one, though, is going to go over to the left field wall. Nice little snag, potential play of the game there. So 2 down. That really looked like it might be a problem ball with a especially short fence, but boy, he jumped right up and snagged it. Timed that one perfectly. And a one hopper.
Let's go find it. No, you can't. Let's go.
Teams very similar in color structures. Both use whites, predominantly black, occasionally gray, but it's primarily for Fletcher. Nice gold color for Canute. And so both teams now have had a walk and a runner on. No hitters in play. Perfect games no longer on the table. This boy right here eats a lot of groceries, and he can put a ball way, way, way out on the field. I don't know how many home runs I've seen him hit at Tusca, and also at the tournament we covered a week prior. And he is caught in a potential suicide squeeze. So far it is a 1. Oh, he missed him on the tag. Should have thrown it. Oh, boy.
Campbell, you get over there. That's your fault. Get over there. Jordan, good effort.
So, in effect, we were looking at a potential 2-3 and then 1 replacing. Shortstop coming in behind, but neither the catcher or the pitcher were able to get in behind to resume the throw, which forced the first baseman to have to go back, and obviously second baseman try to chase him down, so in safe. Another one hopper at the plate. It is going to take a stout man to put a ball over center field wall. Checks him back, so throwback is no good and safe. Infield pop-up that is going to go to the shortstop, and it is a wasted runner in back-to-back innings. So through 1.5, 0-0 score. Wildcats up to bat, bottom of the second inning coming up. Visay and Hammond playing today, two teams that will be seeing each other potentially later in the week at the annual Hammond baseball tournament. Coach McIntosh was kind enough to send me an updated bracket. We'll have 12-3, 10-4, and 8-5 run rules for any games that we cover there at the tournament. One other notable thing to share is that there is a time limit, so the games are capped at an hour and 45 minutes. So that can be a problem for some schools, others not so much. But if you find yourself dragging through 4 or 5, you could very well see a game end, I guess, without a run rule at 3 or 4 innings now. Some of the teams in the tournament we have yet to cover in our 4+ years of prep coverage. Looking forward to getting a couple of other schools on our have now covered list. We are up to, last time I checked, about 436 schools in the state of Oklahoma that we've covered. So our first hit of the game. Blooping single to center field.
Gotta have you, Jordan. Gotta have you. Let's go, Tristan. Jordan. Come in now, Jordan. Good, Jordan. Find away. Find away. Let's go, Black Tristan. Good. At the ball, Black Tristan. Homie, 1 3. Go there, homie. Boy, that boy. You're waiting for yours. You're waiting for a strike.
Let's go, Mick.
Let's go. Pass it down. Pass it down. Let's go, Jordan. Boy! Let's go, Jordan!
Okay, so Fletcher may have something going here in the bottom of the second. They have now got runners on first and second after the first hit of the game and then a walk. Throws down a bunt, it goes foul.
You get that down, you're on first.
All right, the goal here is not to hit it so far down the third base line that the pitcher can throw it to third base for a fielder's choice tag, forcing him to go to first. Worst case, get the bunt to fall, split the baby, and go to second base. So have to be careful not to hit into a double play. You don't want to go too high like that, where it potentially could have been a fly out and a tag out. So he tries to bloop it just over the head. So Coach King not happy on the bunt versus a swing. So all right.
Look for a fastball, Jay.
So 1 down now. Slightly more problematic now if you do try to throw down a sack bunt. You have got to time this perfect. Any deep bunt that rolls right to a pitcher and he can easily fire it over to second and spin back and go to first for double plays. Have to be very careful. And he swings.
Good cut, good cut. You ready? Start a little earlier.
and back-to-back strikes. All right, so after a little shaky start here in the bottom of the second, Trojan pitcher now is picking up momentum and steam. And he gets him not even swinging. Oh, those are brutal. You can't let 3 strikes go without trying to swing at least 2 of them. Coach not happy with that at bat. 3 pitches, 3 strikes, and now the 4th consecutive strike. As I said, Trojans are now marching. One on the count. In low, 2-1. Shows bunt. 2-2.
I actually didn't give you anything. I said hit a good pitch.
Let's go in.
Go.
Go in. Come on, Ian.
And he gets him looking again. So Fletcher strands 2. We head to the top of the third. Score 0-0. Prep Nation TV game of the day.
Leaving a lot of guys on base.
So in the first, Wildcats strand 1 at second. In the bottom of the second, they strand 2 runners on first and second and have them there with no outs. And then a little blooping fly out to first base and back-to-back Ks ends their rally. I'd like to thank our sponsor again for today's coverage, Affordable Cremation Services out of Elk City. Right fielder calls off the second baseman, so a fly out, 1 down.
Just keep doing what you're doing.
All right, ball in place. Another infield pop-up. Goes to the first baseman, so 2 down. Slow start to the game for both teams, especially for Canute. Number 1 rated Trojans have yet to get their first hit. They've had 1 runner on due to a walk. Nice pitch there. In low. Ooh, that looked like it was going to go high and hooked down. Nice little pitch there. And to the shortstop, and he bobbles it with an infield error. So we will have a 6 fielding error.
Campbell, great job. That's an easy out. We're going to make that every time.
Let's go. We got 2 down. Let's go. 2 down. Let's go. Got
to make that every time.
Little gaps like that can be especially problematic. Runner goes, catcher drops the ball, so he is in safe. Sorry about knocking the camera. He is in safe at second. Uncontested stolen base for the Trojans. Meant to grab the wand to turn it and instead hit the cords on the battery pack. So sorry about not getting the camera over for that play. Okie dokie. So Canute has got its first boost of momentum now in this game. So let's see if they are able to convert on an infield error and then a bobble by the catcher. In for a strike. And a foul ball. In high. So second walk of the game for Canute. First time the game, though, they have had runners on. So in back-to-back bottom and top portions of the second and third, both teams get a runner in the air infield. That gentleman right there scores on an RBI single when he could have been thrown out on a 6-3 ground out. 1-0 lead Canute. All right, so each team now has 1 hit, 2 walks apiece. And our first run scores for Canute on the RBI single with 2 down. So a nice sequence of at-bat opportunities for the Trojans. They now have runners on first and second. Second time this inning. Oh, another gaff. So they throw the ball all the way to the fence, and they may send him. Nope, they're going to hold him. But back-to-back stolen bases. So a miscue with a bobbled ground out to the shortstop, and then a missed ball for potential. So a miscue with a bobbled ground out to the shortstop, and then a missed ball for potential throw out going to second has given Canute a ton of momentum, and now they are on the verge of scoring another run here with runners on second and third. Got a little hot stepping going on. You take away the two bobbles and the errors on that throw, the drop at home, and then the bobble. Pitchers pitched exceptionally well to hold the number one team in the state to only one hit through the top third of the inning is impressive in and of itself. But he should definitely be out of this inning, and it should still be a 0-0 game. Got to make routine plays. And it gets away from him again, and another run will score for Canute. 2-0 lead Trojans. All right, so we'll have a pinch runner at first. To the third baseman. 5-3 ground out. That's how you do it. All right, so I head to the bottom of the third. Score now, Canute 2, Fletcher 0, your Prep Nation TV game of the day.
Close up, Nate. Fun way ahead. Không tay ơi.
And another hit for the Wildcats and a leadoff runner on.
Good night.
Fletcher thus far winning the battle of official hits. Unfortunately, they trail 2-0 here in the bottom of the third.
Go Campbell. Good job, Bob.
Bunt thrown down. And it's going to be over the head, so a bunt single perfectly executed. 2-1. So third hit of the day. And Fletcher has now got him on first and second in back-to-back innings with no outs. Let's see if they can move him across home plate this time.
Good. 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 Come on, kid. They did. Good.
All right, so bottom second and bottom third, Fletcher gets the leadoff runners on. Batter shows bunt, takes strike. Could have swore I just felt a raindrop. Okay, now we're in business. So a bases loaded opportunity for Fletcher. No outs. I know exactly what Coach King wants to see. No third strikes on no swings and no flyouts to the first base. So let's see if they can get a ball in play outfield for a potential RBI or sac RBI. Exceptional game thus far. Couple of errors committed by Fletcher. Difference in the game in effect. One earned run scored, one unearned run scored for Canute. They officially have a 6 fielding error single to put a runner on, and then a stolen base off a bobbled ball at home plate, and then an RBI single. So that walk will run and set it up for Fletcher. 2-1 game, and bases remain loaded. We will have a meeting at the mound with Coach J.W. Gillette to see if there's a potential pitching change, and the body language of the pitcher is making me think that possibly one could be coming. And that is the case. 0-0 will head to the dugout. We will have our first pitching change of the day. He may likely be exchanging a pitching glove for a fielding glove anyway, but number 27 looks like will be taking the mound. Unless I'm mistaken, that's usually their third base, so I might be off. It may be number 5. I'm not sure exactly what's going on right now. Okay, so 0-0 is getting on his catching gear. So there we go. That makes a little bit more sense. Okay, so pitching change on its way. Last couple of warm-up pitches. So pitcher goes to home plate, 0-0, number 5 now in for the Trojans. I thought that wasn't the case because number 27 is usually their third baseman. So, okay, so we figured it out here. We're good to go. Bottom third resumes. It is now a 2-1 game after a walk scores 1. Bases remain loaded for Fletcher. So back-to-back innings, Canute is able to put some pressure on Fletcher. A couple of errors lead to a run scoring on a advanced ball and then a RBI single. Fletcher turns the tables in the bottom portion of the inning and gets their own run to score on a bases-loaded walk. Most importantly, no outs right here, so Fletcher's got a golden opportunity to retake the momentum in this game, potentially tie it up, and possibly take their first lead. And out. So 1 down after the strikeout. Didn't want to just do a zoom in right on the back of the player's head there that was swinging. So play before that was a swinging strike. And he gets him on the strike. Shows bunt. Runners return back to second and third.
Gotta have you, babe. Gotta have you, dugout. Let's go. Come on, 13. Give us here. Come on now. Oh.
And another strike. Now 2. In many ways, the game has been exceptionally even. In some ways, I guess in facets, Fletcher's actually outplayed number 1 Canute. And that RBI will fall. And there's a run on the board, tie game. That is exactly what Coach King wanted to see. And now we have a 2-2 game.
Hey, take the other way. Take it the other way.
Most important for Fletcher, bases remain loaded. So back-to-back scores. Bases remain loaded in both instances. That is a win-win deal with only the trade-off being 1 strikeout. Canute looking to get an infield tag or a double play here. Third base will go home. Fielder's choice throw out. Catcher goes to first, and they do get it. So they turn the double play. Officially, it is a 5-2-3 double play. Through 3, your score, Fletcher 2, Canute 2, your Prep Nation TV game of the day. So Canute gets the exact scenario that they want. Fletcher strands 3 after hitting into a fielder's choice throwout. Third base goes home, home goes to first, so we have a very unique double play. 4 hits on the day for the Wildcats, 1 officially for Canute. They had a fielding error at shortstop that led to another one. Got to give massive credit, though, to the catcher. Kind of had a down part of the inning, getting replaced and bumped from pitching to catching, and then turns around and completes a double play, so he's got to be feeling a little bit better. So good for you, young man. And a strike. Exceptionally good pitching performance today by Fletcher. And another strike. Nice changeup. Nice shot to the third base. 5-3 ground out. That was a bullet hit and a nice throw by the third baseman. Okay, so after bragging on number 12's grocery eating abilities, he pops up shallow right field first at bat. So let's see if he's able to do a little bit better here second time up. They're going to get him on another pop-up. This time he's going to go right to the shortstop. Dang. 2 down. Really good game thus far between Fletcher, who's week 6, number 12, and number 1, Canute. More than a little surprised that this weekend saw Silo not necessarily defeated, but losing back-to-back games was very surprising. Dale, even though they come up just short in the championship game against Red Oak 8-7, certainly had their moments and played well enough to win that game. So it's a little bit of a shake-up week, and in Class A, being lost, Ratan's coming. Wright City lost 3 players due to COVID, so they've kind of dropped back down. Tuska has done well. They have moved up 4 spots in our latest rankings. Oaktaha, probably the team of the week, had a really, really good tournament. They were behind against Tuska, rallied to win. They drop a tough 6-2 game against Red Oak, and then upset Silo in the 3rd place game, and pretty much in just about every call, every break, every opportunity that Silo had, something just went wrong, and it was either a fly out or a ground out or a tag out or a drop, but they just could not really get momentum going in the game. So a very impressive win for Oaktaha and a strikeout. So we will head to the bottom of the 4th. Score remains Fletcher 2, Canute 2, your Prep Nation TV game of the day. Each team scored on a walk and an RBI single.
Timing down, James. We gotta have you right here, man.
Hey, Doug, let's go. Let's go, 12. Go ahead, go ahead, right here, kids. Hey, base group right here. Hey, jump on one, come back. Let's go, jump on it, jump on it. Let's go, yeah. So be a lead off, be a lead off. Come back right here. Hey, got a fun way right here, got a battle up. Let's go, battle. Come on, Jace.
And a strikeout.
Whistle up.
One down.
Let's go, Matthew.
You're not doing a very good job of maximizing your opportunities.
Let's go, Matthew. Got it, big. Got a boy. Let's go with fight. Let's go, Matthew. Wait, hop on one. Humbe right here. Come on here. Hey, swing, let's go, Matthew. Hey, stay on it right here, Humbe. Hey, now you gotta work, now you gotta work. Now you gotta work, Matthew. It's battle, kid. It's on the play. One I hit.
Ooh, back-to-back strikeouts. Well, Coach King is not going to be happy. A lot of these strikeouts aren't just the fact that they are swinging hard. They're just not swinging at all. Maddeningly inconsistent. That is going to be a pop-up, and it is a 3-up, 3-down inning and about as nondescript as you can get. So through 4, the score, Canute 2, Fletcher 2, Prep Nation TV, game of the day. Top of the 5th inning coming up. Both teams have had opportunities. Both teams have taken opportunities and made kind of their own luck. So even game 2-2 coming down to the home stretch, the final 3 innings. This is probably going to be a game at the end of the day where the losing coach realizes we could have won this game, possibly should have won this game. It's going to really come down to who can't get into a groove and momentum.
Actually, no, the first one was just a little strike. It was a little curveball strike. But now look at the first one. And he goes in there. It's like that little curveball. Hey, you
Ball gets away low for a 1-0 count. Infield pop-up, that's going to go to the shortstop. 1 down. foul ball. Don't think he even necessarily intended to do that. That could have theoretically been a bunt. And a strike. So now 2 strikes. In low in the dirt. And high for a ball.
Help! Good job, Brayden. That might be the ugliest pitch in the throwback I've seen in baseball.
Hey, don't move. Let's go. Let's go.
Oh boy, that was pretty low. All right, so 2 down. I don't know about that one. It was pretty iffy. It's definitely across the plate, but I kind of came in at his shins. And to the third base. 5-3 ground out again. So it's another 3-up, 3-down inning. We'll head to the bottom of the 5th. The game remains tied. Canute 2, Fletcher 2, your Prep Nation TV game of the day.
It's our inning. Let's go.
Go, Campbell! Go, baby! Oh, nice knock! Go, Campbell!
Yes, sir. Hey, you lift it up. Stay down on it. Stay back.
Let's go, stay tall. Let's go, Campbell!
Oh my God.
Hey, you're good, you're good. Let's go, battle, Bob. Let's go, Campbell.
Fly out center field.
Gotta have you. Starts now. Be lead off. Starts now, baby.
Your head on it.
And another one to the third base. Seems to be the preferred destination of outs. 5-3 again on another ground out. To the pitcher, and a 1-3 ground out. So it is a nondescript fifth. We'll head to the top of the sixth. Score remains tied 2-2.
No errors.
Tight game. Story of the game thus far has been the fact that Fletcher has forced Canute to make a pitch change. They have stranded runners in basically 3 of the 5 innings and have out-hit Canute 4-1 and still cannot get their first lead of the game. Opportunistic defense has been the calling card for Canute today. And infielding bobbles, errors, or miscues have proven to be the difference as a guaranteed routine 6-3 ground out turned into an uncontested solo base. A wild pitch advanced him to third, and then he came in and pretty much could have been off the board, and this could very easily be a 2-1 or 2-0 lead for Fletcher. Canute making their own luck today. Every opportunity they have had, they have pretty much maximized. And so that's what number 1 rated teams do. They find a way to win. While there haven't been many hits, there have been some pretty good defensive plays. And a strike, so 1-1 on the count. Just low, so 2-1. All right, hit in place to the second baseman. 4-3 ground out, 1 down.
Hey, one dead. How you look like 2?
Numerous calls for humbabes to come and show out today. Nice little web gym going here for the Fletcher pitcher. He's got a 1-hit, 1-earned run day, but unfortunately, Miscue scores another to make it a 2-2 tie game. Exceptional pitching performance today.
Baseball.
Shallow fly out that may fall, and it does. So the Trojans have their second single of the day. Runner on first. Defense didn't necessarily do anything wrong. It just perfectly fell on one of those spots to where the right fielder could not get to it, and the second baseman was going at a bad angle. It's a nice little wrap there by Canute. All right, ball 1. Reminder, tomorrow's Prep Nation game of the day will be a battle of the Pirates between Dale and Bing. Game should broadcast at 5 p.m. at Dale High School. Looking forward to covering the Pirates. Both teams. We covered Dale our first official time this weekend. I do apologize to anybody that was wanting to watch the game, but we had numerous teenagers hanging out in the concession stand that would not shut up. One time there were many as 13 of them, and the noise became so loud that that's basically all we could hear on the broadcast, and I didn't want to inconvenience anybody that wanted to watch a game with no way to kill the sound. It's either not get sound on the field or pick up sound with people behind us. So I do apologize. Due to the heat, it was just one of those things where we had to set up one of only two places. So fly out to center field. Nonetheless, we'll do our best to give them a full courtesy of a game on their home turf. We have covered Bing twice this season, a thriller with Roth, and then a game also against Latta. We were planning on covering both Bing and Dale at the Latta tournament that got rained out. And then a couple of other games that we're going to pick up, games of the day, Asher Bing, and a couple with Dale got rained out just due to weather. Might as well call it just Oklahoman. So we've done our best to cover as many teams as we can so that people out there who can't go can watch teams throughout the state. Should have the opportunity this week to pick up our first time to cover Fargo and then possibly Hammond. I'd have to go back and look to see if we covered them in 2016 or 2017. I'm thinking we might have caught them at a basketball tournament, but not 100% sure. I know we haven't covered the baseball team yet. But it officially will be our 438th school by my little cheat sheet. So we've covered more than a few teams in the state. I'm presently working on my own Johnny Cash follow-up song, I've Been Everywhere. I may call it like I've Been Nowhere just to kind of throw everybody off. Hopper in, catcher snags it. So prevents a potential uncontested stolen base there, so heads up play by him. Winery up to bat. Been kind of a quiet day for him on the offensive side. He's had a couple of good throws at third base. Just outside and a good eye, so that'll be a walk. So 2-1 again for Canute. All right, got to be very, very smart on how to hit, where to hit. There's 2 outs, so runners can go at pretty much any ball that is put in play. But that does give an opportunity for 3 different bases to have a fielder's choice tag, so you have to be very careful of who you hit the ball to. Coach King will be going out to the mound. We'll have a meeting of the minds between coach and pitcher and batter and coach. If we pick up anything here between Coach Gillette and his player, we'll move the camera as we don't intentionally try to divulge any secrets or coaching strategies or personal things that they want to try to keep between them and their player. All right, so Coach King's going with his starter. He immediately beckons the catcher to go over probably some signals and strategy here. For those who have followed the entire stream, this is pretty much exactly what happened in the second inning. Fletcher got 2 outs, 2 runners came on, and then a couple of errors, and then a well-placed RBI single turned it into a 2-0 lead for the Trojans. Ball high. One hopper. So a 2-0 deficit favors the batter. he may get him. I thought the ump sent the signal out, but I guess that meant safe because he pumped his fist. That was very close. Potential trouble ball. Right fielder gets over to it though. So the Trojans strand 2, and we will head to the bottom of the 6th. Wildcats will be up to bat. A 2-2 game, your Prep Nation TV game of the day.
Let's go, boys. Starts off Tristan.
Oh boy. I can almost feel Coach King's blood pressure spiking over there. He has had it with these swings on strikes. It's one thing when an 85, 95 mile an hour ball's coming at you and you swing at that thing like you're going for the fence, but it's another thing just to take like a ping pong paddle approach. And there's another example of what I'm talking about, just probably 9-10 inches below the ball, behind, either early or behind, watching and taking strikes without swinging. It's been a tough day at the plate. Got to brag on the pitchers, though. They have a lot of that, that is designed. It's not accident. All right, so beats it out, and another single for Fletcher. It's easy to blame the batters a lot of times, but you got to give credit to the pitchers, too, in those particular scenarios. If you can outfox them, outsmart them, put the ball to where they think it's going to be something that it's not, then pitchers got to get credit as well on those scenarios. Danger when you throw for strikes only, you get hit. When you don't, for both teams, just can't take that many strikeouts and then have a scenario just like this where that could stay in play, and it does, and it's a pop-up out. So 2 down.
Go, Jace. Know what to look for.
I know one's going to fuck you up. You're waiting for him every day because you're weak as get out here. You swing slow.
Jace, down here, Bob. Jace, get up in the batter's block.
Just let him go.
There you go.
Get in there, swing.
Go, Jace. Well.
Okay, so got a runner on and 2 immediate outs. Go, 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 go. And he does. In safe on the stolen base. In the dugout, players telling him, I need you. So let's see if he can make them happy. In for a strike.
Go, yeah, fight off now. Quit looking so scared. Get in there and hit.
Let's go, Jace.
The odd thing about this game is that the off pitches and breaking balls they're not swinging at, and the fastballs they're not swinging at. And it's usually a combination. You get fooled and swing at the breaking ball or the changeup, and you swing at the fastball. So runner is hit. That'll put 2-1 again for Fletcher. So truly kind of an inexplicable day at the office. Very inconsistent in the batter's box, really for both teams, being fair. It's not been Canute's, best performance by a mile. But Fletcher is a good team. They were ranked as high as number 6. We have them right now at number 12 after a couple of losses. 14-7 on the season. It's not been as probably planned and desired. Dropped a couple of games in some tournaments, and looks like we're going to have a substitution pinch runner in at second. So number 14 comes in, ostensibly to get a jump or steal a base.
Hey, somebody nine! Come on, Ian! Give me right here! Hey, fine, dudes, big hit!
And a foul ball. Catcher will get that. Batter will come back.
Hey, you got this right here, baby! Go, Ryder! Let's go in. Hey, somebody now!
Let's go.
Hey, find your pitch! Let's go ahead!
And another foul ball. Only difference, this one hit on the right side of home plate, other one on the left side. So pitch count now favors Canute. This is the opportunity for a change-up or breaking ball or some junk to throw him off. Got to swing at anything that comes across that plate, as long as it's not over your head or at your feet. And that's what he does. Fielder's choice on the tag out. So we have a 4-6 that strands 2, and through 6 the score remains Canute 2, Fletcher 2. Your Prep Nation TV game of the day. Trojans up to bat, top of the 7th inning coming up. I'd like to once again thank today's coverage sponsor, Affordable Cremation Services in Elk City. They are a huge Canute supporter. Chris's boy actually plays on the team, so I'd like to thank him for his support, allowing us to be able to provide coverage throughout the state, and specifically to showcase fall baseball before we give way here in a couple of weeks to high school football. And before we know it, it'll be basketball season, and we will be back in covering tournaments with chance of you can't do that. And I believe we just won 2 of the all-time favorites that we hear over and over and over again. I do miss the state feel for baseball. It has been very morose at some places that we've called games this year, just almost eerily silent, deafening silence, where fans are kind of afraid to yell. Fans sometimes are afraid to talk. People are kind of spaced out. Other places they're in like cordwood, but haven't been a lot of fans in stands making noises. Some exceptions to those games, notably at Roth, was pretty boisterous, but everybody kind of struggling to get back to resuming reality is what I call it. I refuse to use the term new normal when all it is just old abnormal and a bunch of scams and foolishness to literally just turn everybody's life upside down for tomfoolery. So keep that to myself on anything else. But nonetheless, we are happy that sports have resumed, thrilled to death that schools are able to do what they're supposed to do, which is educate kids and give people opportunities to excel, advance, develop, cultivate lifelong friendships, learn life skills, and yes, let's just say it, win. Learn to accomplish things by hard work, determination, and earning it. And that's where sports comes into play. It's a very valuable tool for society. I've said many times that uncoachable kids become unemployable adults. You have to learn how to quit blaming, quit justifying, quit excusing, and take ownership and make your own destiny. Sports is about as good as anything at doing that, as it teaches you that you have to work with somebody else to get things done. And you have to be able to sacrifice at times so that other people can help you do what you need done. I'm a big fan of fall baseball. I think in many ways it's a purist's dream baseball. Not to say that spring baseball isn't good, because it obviously is. Lots of really good teams in classes 2A through 6A. Exceptional baseball in the state of Oklahoma. But fall ball is very, very pure, and it's very technical, fundamental. Obviously, they play just about 10 months out of the year now. You can make the argument some kids probably play 11 months. But there's some exceptions. Places like Dale and Latta and Rawford, kids definitely play basketball. They're not always playing baseball. But between AAU and all-star events in the summer and then spring and fall seasons, some of these kids are playing 3/4 of the year plus. And it shows. Falls for a single. Perfectly placed. So Canute has a runner on. Said that prior to that some of the unique parts of this game has been teams blowing opportunities and then others making their own luck. That was a perfectly placed shot between three people trying to get to it. They didn't necessarily do anything wrong. Just really good spot to put the ball. So we have a 5. Oh, and another fielding error. That is exactly what bit Fletcher in, in the second inning, when they could have easily just gotten it out and been done with it, and ended up leading to 2 runs scored. Now we're at a juncture to where any run wins this game. So the call in place here now is to go 2-3 unless you can turn 2 at second and first. Another field error single, the second one of the game. Unless I'm mistaken, both bobbles have come at the shortstop or 6 position. One throwing error at the 5, a dropped ball at the catcher and at first. Oh boy, that is not good. Oh, he gets it. Boy, he has shown more hustle on 2 of the flyouts that he's been able to get to. The way that ball went off the bat, it looked like that was going to potentially be over his head, and he got to it quick. So very, very good play. Fletcher's got one of the deeper center fields that I've seen in any high school baseball park. That has got to be over 400 feet easy. And a foul ball. I don't see any dimensions posted on the sign since 2/3 of it is chain link fence, but that is a deep, deep center field. It is way, way out there. That has it in play to the shortstop. Fielder's choice tag. So we have a 4-6. So Canute will strand 2, and we will head to the bottom of the 7th with the Wildcats up to bat. Opportunity to win this by walk-off at home. 2-2 tie remains your Prep Nation TV game of the day.
It's where we want them right here, boys. Hey, right part of the lineup up.
Proud of both teams today. They have done well. They've obviously, made some mistakes and had some head scratcher moments, but both teams have competed. They've played hard. And more importantly, each has given their coach and their teammates an opportunity to win this thing. Never want to see a game determined by blown calls or referees or technicalities. So everything has lined up for Fletcher to win this outright. All they have to do is score one run.
Let's go that one. That's good right here. Time's off.
Come on, mate.
That's too much. Just gotta find a way.
Let's go, Nate. Hey, let's go, Nate.
Come on, Nate. You give us right here. Hey, how many now? Come on, one. Come on, let's give us right here. Come on, let's go, Nate. Yeah, Nate. Great job right there. Great job. Let's go, Nate. Let's give it right here. Get on. Atta boy. Great job. Atta bed. Go, Nate. Let's go, Nate. Let's give it right here. Come on now. That baby. Boy. Hey, great count. Gotta be you. Come on, Nate. Let's go, Nate. Give it right here. He doesn't shoot. You're alright, you're alright. Hey, your count right here, your count. Hey, the Jay ready to hop on it. Come on, Nate. Give me right here. Let's go.
Okay, there's your potential game-winning run on first. There are no outs. So Fletcher will need to, for the first time this game, advance a runner from first and do so without splitting it, dropping it, stranding him. They're going to have to get him in. They scored one from a base runner on third, scored one on the walk, and then scored one on second on the RBI. And so they are going to have to figure out a way to get this young man right there on first, all the way over here to third and across home.
On you. You're good.
Number 5 has done exceptionally well coming in relief for the Trojans. He inherited a loaded base. Did give up a run, but that's to be expected when you come in like that. So there is a bunt. So fielder's choice will be the 1-3. Runner advances to second. All right, so bunt got Coach King what he wants, a runner on second. Now what you need to see here is either a deep single or double, or they're going to have to be able to get back-to-back hits or a throwing error to be able to get this to a potential walk-off win here in Fletcher. Foul ball. That's a blessing in disguise, because if that's a single slash bunt that went, he'd be thrown out at first and runner from second probably wouldn't have gone. And a strike. So now two outs, I should say. One strike away from a second out.
No, you can't up there, babe. No, you can't.
Stay on it. Come on, Sam. Hey, let's go, Sam.
Want to.
Let's go, Sam. Look at me right here.
And the foul ball keeps it in play, going over the top of the dugout, or the pavilion, I should say, and the concession stand.
Let's go, Sam. Let's get Mason right here. Come on, Sam. Let's get Mason right here. Hey, let's go now, 6. Let's go, 6. Come on now.
Okay, hit to the second baseman. That'll get him to third. So we'll have a 4-3 ground out. and more importantly, one base away from a potential game winner here. Wild throw, error, single, any combination, and we will have a final score here.
Come on, Caleb. Come on, Caleb.
Ooh, boy. As I said earlier, Fletcher's had a little bit of up and down nature to the season. They dropped games against Sterling, Navajo. Actually, Sterling twice, Navajo. Most surprisingly was probably the losses to Cheyenne and Hydro. That's kind of what got them in a free fall, and they lost to Dale. And then Lokiba, no shame in the Lokiba and Dale losses. Navajo started the season undefeated, rattled off 10 or 11 straight wins, and then, boy, when the competition picked up, those losses started mounting. We had them initially in our top 10 for 2 weeks, and then they dropped out. And ahead of the swing, Wildcat Strand won, so we had extra innings free baseball. Top of the 8th inning coming up. Canute 2, Fletcher 2, your Prep Nation TV game of the day. So Fletcher's ominous streak continues. They've yet to be able to get just first base moved all across the field. They've had their luck on bases loaded walk and an RBI single after that, but it has just been slim pickings here today. They've pitched well enough to win, and they've played well enough to win. Fortunately for Canute, when Coach Glad made the change that he did, it mitigated and kind of stopped the bleeding, which was a huge potential opportunity for Fletcher to put some real runs on the board, and they were able to hold them to 2. Anytime you load the bases with no outs and make a pitching change, that's a pretty good day at the office to come in and get out of there with that damage done. Pitcher that started the game for the Trojans now up to bat. High fly to left field. Center fielder calls him off. And man, that ball virtually goes all the way to the telephone pole, the power pole. And no problem at all for that young man coming all the way from right there to over there by the scoreboard. He is a hustler. That's the third catch he's made that could have easily been 2 out of 3 being a single, or in that particular case, possibly a double. And a strike. He was swinging for the fences on that one, man. That one was going to take some tree limbs with it. And another strike. Canute's probably one of the rare schools where their pitchers are actually pretty good hitters. 00, number 5, number 24, number 22, all usually do pretty well at the plate. and high for the walk. So Canute has the potential game winner on first. That runner goes, he jumps it, and it's going to be moot because catcher still hasn't found the ball. So that's I think the third time today that has happened. Can't fault the catcher for not being able to get it, but you got to flip that mask off virtually simultaneously to not knowing where it's at. Okay, so Canute has got a couple options here. They can continue to try to steal with an exceptionally fast young man on second. They can wait for a bunt or a single or even a pop out, fly up.
What about your mask and go with the ball? What if wrong fair? Then you're standing there holding your mask.
All right, both coaches a little frustrated with their players. Coach King with his catcher and Coach Gillette with the second base runner, who should have jumped that one probably as fast as he is. He could have probably made it. So we have a pop-up that's going to go over the pavilion, landing right in the middle. All right, at the portion of the game in extra innings where any mistake could prove to be catastrophic, and any opportunity that you can create can make a difference in a very, very tight game. I don't care who the team is, what the records are. At some point during a fall season, you are going to have off games, and you're going to have games to where you're really going to have to just eke it and struggle and will your way to victory. So which team wants it the most is pretty much where we're at now here in the 8th inning. Each could have had more runs. Each probably should have more runs. Another chop foul. Goes all the way over here to the home dugout. Number 24 has to return all the way back to second. Pitcher steps off. And another walk. So 2 here in the top of the 8th. First time that has happened this game for Fletcher. Pitcher starting to show a little bit of arm fatigue. He's been in throughout. All right, number 12. Let's see what he can do. Runner goes, steals third and second. Okie doke. So now Canute has the potential game-winning run on third. Wildcats do have final at-bat, though. Ball hops again, so 2-0 count. Real funk that the Wildcat pitcher's gotten into here in the 8th. Lots of balls. By my math, he's got 10 so far. Okay, so here we are. Another amazing catch. All right, so the run counts on a sack RBI. Coach King is pleading his case that the batter left early. So we're going to go with what the official call is here. We'll go back and look at this clip, try to get all of the duration of the play. Canute takes their second lead of the game, 3-2. And another ball. Ooh, man. If he walks this batter, that is going to be 14 balls in this inning alone. And he is now at 13. He has done exceptionally well first 7 innings. Just arm is kind of giving out on him here in the 8th.
This is Smith pitching. He came in, and this is his second inning.
Oh, it is?
Yep.
No, I misspoke. That is correct. I didn't notice the change on the number there. So, yes, he came in the 7th inning. So he is throwing a ton of balls. So that is 3 walks. So 14 in the inning. And we are pretty much up against it now for Fletcher. They cannot make any more mistakes here. Canute got their runs in the 2nd, and then now here 1 in the 8th. And bam. So he snaps that little streak there. And that will fall for a single, so a run is going to come. Oh, no, he's going to hold him. So I misspoke on that. And another gaff, and another run will score unearned. Ooh, unearned runs proving exceptionally costly for Fletcher in the game. Canute now with their second lead of 2 runs in the game. They led early 2-0 in the 2nd, and then now up 4-2 here in the top of the 8th. It is going to be tough for Fletcher to walk away from this, losing this game. All right, so pop up at home plate. Okay, here's the math. Fletcher needs 2 to force a 9th inning. They need 3 to win by walk-off. Coach King is exceptionally upset over 2 things. One, he thought that the Trojan runner tagged up early on the fly out to left field. And then number 2, the catcher tried to barehand a ball, missed it, and that allowed another run to score. As is 2 earned runs for Canute on RBIs and then 2 unearned. Fletcher has 1 earned run and 1 unearned as well on a walk. Tight game, 5 hits for Fletcher, 4 for Canute. Wildcats up to bat, bottom of the 8th inning. Okie dokie. Wildcats have had 2 innings with 3 up, 3 downs. Otherwise, they've been able to get a runner on. In 5 of the other innings, they've had the bases loaded a couple of times, had runners on twice. Nice little check swing that would have been nice had that gone straight. Another third strike on a look. So 1 down.
Let's go.
Immediately concluding the game, we will travel back home, and then in about an hour and a half, 2 hours, we'll begin posting the plays of the game and video highlights. Due to COVID restrictions, some guidelines, some protocols, and not necessarily knowing how each team is planning, we have tried to err on the side of caution with the interviews this season. Normally we do that every game. So a single for the Wildcats. So we're trying to accommodate. We don't want to get anybody in trouble, and we don't want to cause any problems. But nonetheless, we have missed being able to do that with the coaches and some of the players. Potential game-tying run now at home plate.
Hey, let's go, Deuce. I'm ready right here. Yeah. On the way on. Keep us going.
I know Canute has got a long drive home, so out of respect for the players and the coach, I don't want to hold them up any more than necessary. But we will be resuming our interviews. If not this week, it'll certainly be soon.
Hey, I'm ready, Deuce. Big hit. Let's go now.
In for a second strike. Have been a lot of called strikes without the swing, and that may end up being the downfall to Fletcher, that in 4 fielding errors. Technically throwing one with the fielding. All right, bloops it to the third base. So an error now could potentially prove costly for Canute. The potential game-tying run is on first, and the game winner as at home plate. So the error gets its way across the board, pretty much. Just thrown low and totally missed by the second baseman there. Looks to be a standard 5-4 fielder's choice tag, and nonetheless, as they say, rest is history. Ball is going to go over the fence, so stays foul. Wildcats now have runners on first and third. There was a brief time during their rally where they tied the game, where they had that happen, and then immediately loaded the bases back up after their RBI single. Batter shows bunt. Oh boy. And that is just the kind of miscue and mistake that just breaks a team's back. Now 2 strikes, and the Trojans now are 1 strike away from winning this game. Wildcats have stranded 9 runners, and this would potentially be 10 over here on first should this go to a final score. You just can't jump a ball like that that is not rolling. Unless you see it going behind the catcher in the catcher turning position, you can't jump and go halfway down the line. That was just an easy throw out. Hops again, so low for another ball. We have a full count here, and it could potentially be a bases loaded opportunity for the Wildcats with one out. And instead, there's now 2 down and only a runner on first. And the money pitch on its way. And it's low. So Fletcher has him back on first and second. Hopefully it won't come down to a mistake and a debatable tag-up call. We'll see how this game plays out here in the bottom of the 8th. Got to give the number 1 rated Trojans credit. Hasn't been their best day, hasn't been even their best game, but they are finding a way to win. They have made Fletcher pay for just about every mistake that they have made.
Hey, you got this now, 9?
That ball in play. And that'll do it. After the fly out, it is a final score. Canute Trojans 4, Fletcher Wildcats 2. Your Prep Nation TV game